Yeah, I mean, honestly, by the time we hit next year, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like 8 rollers in the top 8.
Yeah.
But
Or they could be
all the
former
same
tappers.
people.
Yeah.
It's like all the same players, like I wouldn't be surprised if the same 5 here were top 5 next year and they were all rolling.
Guess what? Some of the players that haven't made it to top 8 are rolling. Green Tea took up rolling. We could see Green Tea back with a vengeance.
Oh, it'll be so crazy.
Yeah,
But here we go. The match is about to start. This is, like I said, the most dangerous match of the first round. 3, 2,
1. Tetris.
Tetris. Okay.
Nenu the survivor versus Andy, who nearly took everything last year, making it into the top 2.
And again, something to remind people, if you have just tuned in, and again, shout outs to the front page of Twitch out there if you are tuning in from there. The Tetris rate, most important stat to look at in terms of who has the lead. As you see the TRT over there, 100%, now down to 88%. So both players at exactly the same Tetris rate. So they're basically neck and neck.
Yeah.
So
and hitting the Tetris, no score differential. I mean, I'm hoping that Tetris rate continues to be a measurement factor because you could have players who sandbag the entire 18 and 19, and if they're so confident that they could make all their Tetrises on post 29, that would be a big way to flex.
I mean, honestly, if the players who are experts at rolling feel like that they can get a lower Tetris rate and then just survive and get singles and triples and even Tetrises as well, as we saw Huff doing.
Yeah, Huff was just really putting on a showcase for the future of rolling there.
Yeah.
Maybe for the future of competitive Tetris.
And again, just as a reminder for those who have just tuned in, this may look like something, I can do, this is easy. I'm so good at Tetris. Remember, the rules here on Classic NES Tetris, so different than the rules of what we're playing on Tetris Effect, than on Puyo Puyo Tetris, for example. Very, very different and a lot harder. Tetris Effect does have the classic mode that you can try out and see just how hard it is for yourself. So definitely check that out on Tetris Effect if you have the game. Which you should, because it's out there on every platform now. So you have no excuse.
So it's been a pretty close game so far. Nenu within a Tetris away from Andy. Good burns there. Boom Tetris for Andy, boom Tetris for Nenu.
Yep, and again here, 18 is just establishing this rhythm, trying to get a high Tetris rate for when you transition into level 19.
And Nenu having to do some burns.
Yeah, he still has to get some burns, but the problem right now is that right side over there. Surprised he didn't drop that S piece on the right side over there.
Nice solves there.
But yeah, he should be able to get through there. Now he does have that situation. Okay, perfect. Z piece to tuck right in there. But now on the left side, he needs back to back, and he got him. Actually.
Filled that in quite nicely. Trying to get back into the scoring position, and does.
Now he has a dependency on either L or J, and that's always so much preferable than creating yourself a dependency on only one or the other. So you'll often see a lot of the times if players can transition the dependency from one to both, it makes their lives that much easier. But here we go, another dependency for Nenu.
Oh, nice last second adjustment. Saw the long bar coming. And spun that to accommodate and not cover the well.
Yeah, but again, now you see he has a couple of gaps. Going to take the triple over here. Meanwhile, Andy on a 72% Tetris rate. He is looking great.
Yep. This is a beastly pace for Andy here.
And again, no surprise. You mentioned, the crazy number of max outs they had during the qualifying period.
Yeah, for a player like Andy, max out is almost kind of mandatory. That's how consistent they are, and we're seeing that on display here.
It's so crazy because, I mean, obviously him and his brother both so strong at this game. I mean, you got to wonder yourself, is it really just something in the genes, maybe?
And it also helps just to have a strong competitor around you as you play.
For sure.
You have something to continually measure yourself against, and especially if it's positive reinforcement and friendly, and you're always cheering each other on. That's a powerful thing to have. I was in competitive gaming with my brother, and we pushed each other to do better and always helped each other out too. I know that dynamic is very important to have.
Me and my brother used to play games all the time, except there was a lot of salt. Definitely not that friendly, but that's what that sibling rivalry will do for you. But I remember talking to Andy and Dog, in the interviews last year. They do say that their rivalry is very friendly, and these two support each other a lot. Like you said, that's a very powerful weapon to have.
Yeah, and you just love to see it because a big part of our Tetris community is players, brother or not, raising each other up, cheering each other on, and just enjoying each other's success.
Kind of a drought here for both players finally gets through, and both of them are going to transition at the exact same time. But you can see the Tetris rate difference here is giving Andy a distinct lead. Yeah, 100,000 points on average, and Nenu knocking it down to 90,000 now as we head into post-19 speeds. Yep. Boom Tetris.
Boom Tetris for Nenu.
And boom
Tetris for Andy. Here we go. Ooh, Nenu having to cover the well there, so there's going to be a bit of a dig. It's going to allow Andy to extend the lead.
Yeah. And see right there again, even though it was nice getting that J piece over there on the side, it did require him clogging up the lanes a little bit, so it's making it harder for him to clean out. Oh, he just decided to fill that out before the eyepiece dropped. He's going to be able to get out of Tetris.
Yeah, Andy actually taking a triple and keeping his board just neat and low to the ground, so...
Yeah, there's a little bit of a misspin right there from Nenu. But, we talked about how you have to have the pedal to the metal the entire time. But I think in this particular case, that Andy knows how big of a lead that he has. And so I think he is actually playing a little bit safer.
For the first time, we're seeing someone, kind of taking the safe route and keeping that playfield super clean.
Mm-hmm. Because he knows he has a big lead right now.
Okay, so Andy trying to dig back down. Nenu having to dig as well.
Trouble because every time he has to drop these pieces, he keeps being forced to cover up that.
Andy, he hangs the long bar over to the left, and despite the large point difference, Nenu is in a chase down situation and can take this away from Andy.
You see a lot of frustration on Andy's side for very obvious and justifiable reasons there. He was looking smooth and clean and was kind of set up to just get through here.
Yeah, Nenu needing better pieces. Maybe he's encountering the same drought that Andy did. Oh, no!
Oh, man.
Nenu dropping out. Andy is going to take that one.
Yeah, and again, showing how the level of skill from these players is all so similar here. As you mentioned, probably the same drought that, if you look at them, actually, no, he got a little further because he was at 202 lines. But, it's just there was probably one spell that caused both of them to build their stack a little bit higher than they wanted to.
That's actually kind of uncharacteristic topping out in that kind of situation, especially one where both players seem to be safe and trying to maintain their stacks, and we're generally successful at it. And then just like that, a long bar hang for Andy, not able to fill out the left side, causing a tap out, and then Nenu very suddenly trying to get the chase down. Yeah,
he was at level 26 with 169,000 points behind.
Yeah, Nenu still had to be aggressive there, so maybe those risks played a factor.
Yeah, he could have still did it for sure. He was within chase down range, But again, the stack was already really high up, and it just didn't work out at the very end there. So there we go. Well, and
the crazy outcome, just you'd never know sometimes until the final moment what's going to happen there. Super exciting. What a show.
Okay, so first game to Andy, trying to set up the rematch with his brother again. Obviously they share a lot of love for each other and, have a strong bond between each other. But, Andy probably still, would like to get a little bit of revenge on his brother and try to take him out in the CTWC, especially after going up 2-0. I'm trying to set up a more dramatic sibling rivalry that probably doesn't exist.
All good.
Man.
3, 2, 1, Tetris, and we're off to game 2 of this match. Andy taking that first point in dramatic fashion as Nenu is not able to get the chase down.
Yep. And both of them starting off with slightly different builds. Again, it's really fascinating to watch the players. Sometimes they have the exact same stack, and it's cool when you see that. But it's also really fascinating to see how the same pieces can manifest themselves into very different boards. You can see right here that Nenu is at the 100%, and we've had, you could look at Andy's. Andy's at the 100%, and you can see how Nenu has this kind of awkward build.
Yeah, Andy immediately tapping the pieces all the way over to the left. I mean, both players have some good piece movement skills, but if you have rolling or really high speed tapping, you're going to see more openers building that left side up.
Nice by Nenu to turn that into a clean field, have that all set up and prepared and ready to go. Yeah, and some people are talking about this in the chat, but time zone is definitely a factor here.
Yeah, it's 6:30 a.m. or something from what I hear over in Indonesia.
So yeah, it's bright and early for him right now. But he's still gonna get that Tetris. Nice. But you can't discount these, external factors like that. It's definitely plays a role in these games.
It can, depending on what your life situation is. I mean, I do better work at like 3 a.m. So 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. I'm all good. I'm not sure how it is in different parts of the world. But
people don't know this, but we were talking to each other at 6 a.m.
That was really funny. James and I were, I barely use social media anymore, but I saw James post on Facebook about, all the hype matches today, and, I put a like on it, and then he says, "Hey, Chris, shouldn't you be asleep?" And I'm like, yeah, but I'm too hyped to sleep. I can't, I'm like getting insomnia from the CTWC, and what time was it? It was like 4 in the morning or something?
It's like 5? 3 a.m. here in Pacific time, yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, that was really cool. And we knew we had to work it today, so
yeah, I know, right? It's that whole thing. Like, I don't know if a lot of people out there know, but like when your parents are taking you to the cool theme park the night before, you can't sleep because you're just so excited. It's just how it is. I just knew CTWC was coming, and
CTWC is like we're kids in a theme park enjoying this highly competitive play,
dude. And if you guys missed that first game, man.
What a way to open it up.
Right. So, needless to say, regardless of how much sleep I got, I'm wide awake right now.
Yeah, we're all good. We've got the energy, and we're booming the Tetrises.
And again, thank you to everybody in the chat right now watching live with us. Hope you guys are just as hype and enjoying this as much as we are. And here we have this game number 2 between Nenu and Andy. And Nenu, again, down by quite a bit in terms of Tetris rate. They have the same number of lines, and you can see Nenu down by about 2 Tetrises. So he's going to have to count on Andy trying to do some... Oh, that was so beautiful.
Bits.
Oh, God, that was so beautiful.
Vertical I-tuck setup.
As a Tetris player myself, when I see players do stuff like that, and I'm just like, I did not see that. And when they do that, it's just like... You just feel like, man, I am not worthy, Yeah,
Nenu is capable of doing some really interesting, fun to watch stuff. You haven't seen too much of it yet. He's probably got his game face on and, doing everything that's optimal right now. But we might see some cool maneuvers, some entertaining stuff out of Nenu.
Yeah, has to do a little bit of extra cleaning over here. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Pixel Andy still at a essentially 70% rate in Tetrises, so he has that max out pace.
69%. Nice.
Yeah, Nenu is also at max out pace, but if he can just keep this clean from this point, he can definitely build that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nenu, really trying to keep the playfield clean. He's had to do some burns, so in these early rounds, he has been behind. But maybe his strategy is to get the higher percentages or get the higher Tetris rate going once level 19 hits.
Yeah, Nenu now Tetris ready. And he has built that up to 59%. He should be able to get over 60, yeah. So now he's at 61%. So yeah, slowly but surely building that Tetris rate back up to try to catch up to where Andy is at. But Andy is at 71%. He's gonna have to do a little bit of burning and cleaning right here. Let's see how he handles this. He doesn't wanna. Yeah, he's kind of in an unfortunate situation right now. He's having to do a little bit of extended cleaning because the pieces haven't been perfect.
Nenu into transition.
Yeah.
Nenu really fighting back the deficiency there. Has now gotten it to neck and neck scores.
Yeah, this is really huge right now for Nenu. He just needs to. Okay, beautiful. Playfield is clean. What a little micro adjustment at level 19. And now
he's Tetris for Andy. Back and forth we go. This is what you want to see.
Okay, Tetris ready again, and boom, Tetris, yeah. Look at this! Nenu now with the 67% rate. He's caught all the way back up to Andy. Like I said, both of them at max out pace.
Yep. Monster scores on the way. Wow, Nenu with that last second decision to create the tuck.
So good.
All right, Nenu waiting for the long bar. Andy also Tetris ready.
Yeah.
Wow, that spin timing from Nenu. Boom, Tetris for Andy. Boom, Tetris for Nenu. Just, here we go.
Nenu is a few lines ahead right now. You can see right now he's now only 2 lines ahead. And so Andy catching up, and boom, Tetris
is
for
really
Nenu.
A close and competitive match here.
We are neck and neck. Nenu is only 1 Tetris behind. He's only 1 Tetris behind. Playing a little safe. Not going for...
Simul Tetris.
Yeah. Send himself a double eye bar. See, but he could get a dirty Tetris.
Dirty. Oh, no, but didn't get the long burn time. Takes the triple.
Yeah. No, that was smart. I mean, he's close. So no reason to take that kind of a risk right now. But because of that now, Andy is technically about 2 to 3 Tetrises ahead because he's behind 4 lines right now.
Yeah, still anything can happen. There's still room for the lead to change. Andy playing really well now.
Yeah, Nenu here. Oh, that was a beautiful opening up of that hole to set the Tetris. Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah, boom Tetris for Nenu for that. And Andy waiting for the long bar. Boom Tetris for Andy. Nenu got an
unfortunate ZS spam right there for Nenu, forcing him to go for some cleanup right now. And that's going to drop his Tetris rate down just a little bit, which means that Andy is just building that lead up.
Yeah, Andy's been relentless at this point. Wow, just burning everything down. Opening up his field again.
Yeah, kind of a awkward field. Oh, that was so nice. What a burn by Andy.
Taking a double to keep the field as clean as can be.
And again, for those of you just joining, remember the rules very, very different than modern Tetris rules here. So back-to-back Tetrises is not something that you need to fight for. You can go ahead and accept.
Starting to come back a little bit. Yeah. And now Andy having a couple of burns to take. So the higher scoring Tetris is here. Boom, Tetris for Nenu again, as we are approaching transition to level 29. Kill screen is coming. We're also on the verge of max outs too, so
couple of beautiful S tucks for Andy, but Andy.
Nenu kill screen, almost the max out, and Andy with the max out takes the round.
Look at that. He is literally, what is that, 450 points away from a max out.
Get a Tetris. If you get Lolbar, boom! Tetris for Andy. Post-kill screen Tetris.
And he's still going with this hyper tapping.
Yeah, showing off the post-29 survival skills that a hyper tapper can do.
Oh, is he really going for a Tetris? Oh,
whoa.
My goodness.
Is it going to come? Is it going to come? There it is. Boom! Andy, level 30.
Even Nenu has to smile on that one. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean, Nenu can't feel bad about that performance if you had to do that much more against Andy there. Wow, Andy taking the second round now, 1 point away from taking this match. So Nenu is fighting for his tournament life here.
I'm telling you, the amount of matches that we are getting, and Andy's Tetris rate is only below 60% because he was, clearing singles and doubles and triples at the end over there.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it was above 60%. And the amount of over 60% matches that Tetris rates that we've had today that were losses.
Yeah.
Is
here in 2021, post 29 play, definitely a factor.
We probably have more kill screen 60% on over losses than we've had 60% kill screen wins from a few years ago.
Yep. That's just that's how the bars have been dropping. Bars have been raising and dropping.
Yep.
Here in competitive Tetris in the year 2021.
We don't raise the bar here. We drop the bars here. So there you go. Okay.
There you go.
So now Andy with a 2-game lead over Nenu, and Nenu has been playing great, and yet still somehow down 2-0 or 0-2, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, strong games by Nenu. We're not seeing any early top outs or any disastrous digs. It's good, solid play by both players. This is what you want to see in top 8 or even top 4.
All right, but look, Nenu, 4th place last year, clearly very, very strong. And
even with a higher seed than Andy, if you look at it now.
And again, when I say 4th place, that's kind of a mistake. I should say tie for 3rd. Tie for 3rd.
Right.
Him and Huff were tied for 3rd is the better way to put it. I think it might have just been they used like a tie-breaking method to determine who was ahead. Or did they play
if they had like a match between that to determine placement. But I guess we have a long day, and in the end, I think they get the same prize, so it doesn't really matter. They're not really. It's only fighting for credit. I mean, they could have a offline match, like if they want to do it on their own or something. That would be interesting. Or maybe if they want to if someone wants to increase the prize pool, that would actually be a reason to do it. Who knows?
Right, with an unfortunate situation here, has to clean out a little bit. And I call them unfortunate, but it's really not that much of a problem. It's just the word that I've chosen to use all the time.
Yep. Nenu almost clean setup for Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Nenu. We are neck and neck. Relatively early on. There's a spire forming for Andy.
Yeah, just as a reminder to everyone as well, on all the other CTWC channels, we do have the foreign language streams going as well. Check them out at CTWC Classic Tetris 2 all the way through 8.
Yeah, so we've got Japanese on Classic Tetris 2, hosted by legendary Green Tea, Corian, and SQR. French on Classic Tetris 3, Spanish on Classic Tetris 4, since we're already niche. We've got double the power of the Ocho, so we only need Classic Tetris 4 for our Spanish language. Portuguese for Classic Tetris 5, Cantonese for Classic Tetris 7, and we do have a Classic Tetris 8 with Polish.
Yep. All right, Nenu setting himself up a double long bar requirement. Obviously can burn some stuff in column 8 just like that if he wants to. Oh, that was nice. Sets himself a horizontal tuck off of the J piece.
Drought forming for Andy here, waiting for Lamar. Gets it. Boom, Tetris for both Nenu and Andy.
Yeah, both of them running into that drought at pretty much the same time. Gonna be able to tuck the J piece over there. Meanwhile, Andy, 81%, but Nenu this time
at
with
88%.
8%. This is important. Nenu has not been able to have strong starts, and so he's always been playing from behind. This is the first time that he's been playing from the front.
Yeah, not this time. This could be Nenu's chance to reverse sweep, possibly. Got to get it started because he's fighting for his tournament life here and needs to take this game to stay in the match and in the tournament.
Yeah, and again, I don't wanna make it sound like that this is a curse or anything like that. But remember, that's how Andy ended up losing to his brother Dog last year, was the reverse sweep.
Momentum plays a part. We saw that happen a lot throughout the history of this year's tournament. We saw a lot of reverse sweeps happening, especially on Classic Tetris 2 for some reason. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I watched all those matches that I didn't commentate on, the ones that you commentated. What a ride. Like, just great content. Even as, I'm a fan myself. So just seeing, the other channel have so many reverse sweeps, I was like, what's going on here? People were talking about your commentator's curse in our Classic Tetris 1 chat. And I'm like, what happened over there? Something happened.
I like I said, that's why I'm not saying anything today, because one of those commentator curses that I did was one of the most epic commentator curse I've ever done. And
yeah, apparently your commentator's curse stat is off the charts. James 10.
Yep. Oh man.
Okay, nice tucks from Andy to make a clean stack. Boom, Tetris for Andy.
Andy's screen is looking so clean, and now he's going to be able to perhaps take the lead over Nenu. But Nenu,
with left well.
Yeah, going for the left well. And, for those people wondering why they go for the left well more than the right well, reason being is that it takes less taps to get the I bar in its vertical state to the right than it does to the left. And so you will always want to favor the right side over the left side.
But depending on the player's skill sets, some players are versatile and will take those Tetrises as they come. The playfield may form a well on the left, and Nenu taking advantage there, keeping that Tetris percentage rate up.
Yeah, especially at level 18, right? Level 18 is a speed in which they can manage the left well Tetris. But here we go. Transition for Nenu.
Nenu's still in the lead.
Trying to go for a Tetris to transition is Andy himself.
Does.
Oh, perfect pieces. Not going to get the Tetris off of that long bar, but there it is. Yeah. Boom Tetris for Andy.
And both players with great play fields now.
Neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
Yeah. Again, the percentages tell the true story here.
Yeah, they both had 85 or were a second ago, and yep, just simul Tetrises going back and forth here.
Oh, perfect. Great RNG right now for Nenu. And there we go. Boom Tetris for both of them, actually. Simul Tetrises.
Yeah, the score differential was down to 700 points just a moment ago. So this is really close.
Yeah, like we said, the true definition of neck and neck.
And what you want to see in a top 8 matchup, especially with the last remaining players, these final 5 are all veterans. They were all here last year in the top 8.
Hmm. Hardest part right now is Nenu, definitely the one with more pressure on his side, because if he loses this, he's out. He is out in his place. And Andy right now has a little bit of wiggle room. And I can't even explain to you how much that makes as a difference when you're playing in a stressful situation like this.
Well, also the momentum, right? Like, wouldn't Andy love to have the momentum of a sweep going into the final match or the semifinal match?
Yeah. But Nenu is playing so clean right now. Just nothing but Tetrises. Look at his Tetris rate. Actually, look at both of their Tetris rates.
Yeah, really good. All about to max out here is Nenu. Boom! Tetris for Nenu. Max out on level 25. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Boom! Tetris for Nenu. Not letting up. We're going to see insane scores here. Andy. Boom! Tetris for Andy. Maxing out is Andy. Double max out. Level 25. Oh my goodness. We only saw this happen once before, and I think it was like in the PokeNerd match, where we might see another double 1.3. We don't know where this is going. Let's go.
This is insanity. And we have a situation right now where Nenu has to clear out that gap, not getting the pieces that he needs. Okay, here we go. Starting to be able to dig through
Nenu.
there. Oh
And
boy.
Nenu needing to clean out now. Whew. Opening up the well. Really needs a long bar.
Yeah, he's not getting it. But look at these tucks, even at this speed, staying
Has to get
alive.
over to the left. Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Andy's side, though, he's looking so clean and calm. He's Tetris ready, but this drought is ridiculous. Okay,
Tetris
final
for Andy
boom.
taking the lead. So Nenu really needing that long bar now. There it is. Boom, Tetris for Nenu. This is so close. Neck and neck. Here on level 28, about to hit the kill screen. Boom, Tetris for Andy. Boom, Tetris for Nenu. Nenu hitting kill screen, is behind, needs a single.
Yeah, and exactly.
Andy's gonna take it. Sweeping Nenu in a huge finisher, still going post kill screen. Is now at 1.24 million. But look, Nenu got a 1.1 and lost.
Nenu's expression after he lost, he looked over and was like, clearly I should be winning this. And he looks over and yep, a 1.18, level 29, max out at level 25.
You can be ashamed of that performance, but Andy busting it out when needed on command with a 1.2. What a way to finish the first 4 matches of top 8. Our first 4 matches of top 8 are bracketed by just the craziest finishes. And wow, what a show so far. GG's.
Again, Nenu, tied for 3rd last year, tied for 5th this year. I mean, we're going to talk about that as an amazing back-to-back performance, but the rest of the 4 players were top 4 last year.
And you know what's happening in our next round, right? It's going to happen. Dog versus Andy is going to happen again across the whole match. Oh my goodness. The hype. Oh my goodness, it's going to explode.
It's not going to be the grand finals for the brothers, but it is going to be
the matchup. The grudge match of the Tetris century will happen again. But yeah, and Andy had to earn it against Nenu there. Definitely. I mean, you can't say that wasn't earned. Look at that, 1.18 for Nenu. I mean, any other year, right? Any other year that would have been unbeatable, or at least virtually unbeatable.
77% Tetris rate, max out at level 25, kill screen, and you lose. I mean, this is the level of Tetris that we are playing now. And it's crazy. We say this every year, and I feel like it's like almost kind of a broken record status. But, for those, especially, like, I haven't even been around since the beginning. But for guys like you, who have been here since the first CTWC, to see the advancement and see this level of play right now, like, if you were able to travel back in time and talk to yourself from like 10
first
years
year,
ago,
it's like, 500K, 600K, easy clap, right? Not the case anymore.
It's absolutely wild. But I think we have the interview with Nenu set up over here. So let's go ahead and go over to them and let's get a chance to hear from Nenu.
Yeah, take it away.
Nenu, congratulations again for making the top 8. This is your first year as a veteran. You played last year, you made it to the top 4. How has this year compared to last year? How have things changed? How does it feel?
Yeah, thanks. It feels I already exceed my goal. I was not expecting to get to top 8 this year because the field are stronger now, and I pretty much left behind at this point because I don't play kill screen that good.
Hey, in each of your matches, you overcame the world record score holder at the time in your bracket stage with Hydrant Dudes. When you played Pixel Andy, your opponent you just played now in the finals of the March CTM, you had overcome a 1.3 million score against you in the previous round versus Alex Thatch. You are an incredibly resilient player. So what is your mindset when going up against these players that you said you feel like you've been left in the dust, but you've managed to stack up against players that are at the top of their game? What is your mindset going into these matches with these, insane players?
Yeah, my records against Andy are not that good. I think I managed to win like 3 times or 4 out of 20 or something. So yeah, I in the first 2 game, I was playing so aggressive that it made me score slow on the 18 and couldn't keep up on the post transition.
You played phenomenally in the final game. What was going through your mind towards the end of that game, where it was neck and neck with Andy?
I actually didn't really see in this game. After the first 2 game, I was like, okay, I need to get into the Zen mode, like just play my own game, and it worked out. But Andy is just better.
You've shown incredible resilience. Earlier this year, you set a new record in the Classic Tetris Monthly for longest gap between victories. As we talked about in your player profile video, you went 2 years between victories, but you kept on competing. You kept showing up every single month. You showed that you have the skill to measure up. You have the ability to break through. And even if you didn't take home the trophy today, you made it back into the top 8. And impressively, you're the only player from outside North America in the top 8. How do you manage your sleep strategies when preparing for big events like this?
Yeah, I came into
being outside of California.
I came into this main event like more prepared, like than the group stage, because in the group stage I only slept like 2 hours. In main event, I managed to flip my sleep schedule. Like I needed 1 week to be able to wake up at 3 every day, so I can play my best in the main event.
Well, you put on a show. Again, is there anybody that is watching at home or that is supporting you that you'd like to shout out or thank?
Yeah, I don't know if my family are watching, because it's like 7 a.m. in the morning. I don't know even if they are
It's
awake.
understandable.
But yeah, thank you for keep supporting me. I guess learn something new after this year.
Pull a Tristop, learn rolling in 1 week.
Yeah.
What
I
about
have
your
my
friends?
proofs ready.
Last year, so you had the power outage and you ran to a friend's house. Does your friend still keep in touch with your Tetris progress? Does he know you made the top 8 again this year?
Not really, but we play other game sometimes, yeah, but not Tetris. Like my friends don't really interested in Tetris.
That's fair enough. Well, I got to tune into you next year because I expect that, you will continue to go far because, yeah, you've shown that you have the ability to hang year after year. It's an incredible accomplishment with how fast the scene is progressing to be able to make the top 8 2 years in a row. So thank you so much, Nenu, for being a competitor, month in and month out. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
So yeah, great seeing Nenu back in top 8 and hoping for maybe a third year, because it looks like that veteran experience does play a factor, and it's great that we have now 4 veterans, and Nenu was the 5th and the first to be eliminated.
And
you want to- Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just about to say, I mean, again, it sounds like maybe he's going to go down the path of rolling. But I mean, look, I'm just going to say, he says he's left behind in the dust. I like
that performance. He made Andy earn that for sure.
right. I want to be left behind in the dust if that's what that means. Let's just put it that way. But if you players out there don't ever want to be left behind in the dust, look, Xbox is providing a lot of awesome things for players out there. We've got the new consoles coming out. If you get the Game Pass, you're never going to be left behind in the dust in terms of games. So very special thanks to Xbox, who is still going strong with the new Xbox Series X and Series S consoles that were the first to feature Tetris Effect connected.